Hello, this is Dan McDonald. I am Life Regenerator here on YouTube. Today's video is going to be loaded with some great information and inspiration. I can just feel it inside of me already. I've got a lemon ginger blast. You've seen me make this 10 times before. I need a blast. It's noon. It's time for breakfast. What am I going to have for breakfast? The lemon ginger blast. Today we'll talk about, I don't know what, just come and hang out in the kitchen. If you want to stay in the loop with the best health information here on YouTube, it's a good idea to click the subscribe button right now. Okay, let's get started. What do we have here today, folks? We've got apple, lemon, cucumber, ginger, mint, cilantro, lettuce, kale, fennel, and chocolate habanero, which inspired the whole thing. So I will start with some cucumber. So where do you want to begin? Maybe I'll put the mic right here so y'all can hear me a little bit better. I'm leaning in, I'm juicing it up. This is the Green Star Elite. In my opinion, it is the best juicer on the market as far as extraction goes. It does not heat up the juice. Now, I have promoted over the years the centrifugal juicer, but as I became even more and more sophisticated, I decided that the lemon ginger blast here in the Green Star is the best because you get the high extraction of the fruits, the peels, the seeds, and the herbs. So it's the best all-around juicer. Some juicers have other benefits. This one has them all. That's why I use it. I'm not affiliated with them monetarily in any way. I just feel like it is the best juicer, and if I'm going to be juicing every day, which I do, in fact, I pretty much live off of liquids, at least for the last 3 days. I just haven't felt like eating. In fact, here's something that I normally don't share, is that the cleaner you get, the less and less you're going to be able to eat, because you're going to absorb more, you're going to understand the vitality of the foods, that it's going to be the living foods that's going to give you the true nutrition, that's going to keep you detoxified and hydrated and energized. Basically, people are stuffing their stomachs full while they're simultaneously starving to death for the elements of life. And that's why there's all these diseases, obesity, cancer, and everything else. Cancer doesn't just come out of the sky and attack you. We create it with our lifestyle. We create all dis-ease by being disharmonious with the laws of nature. And it's the most commonplace thing. I mean, it's basically insanity. Mankind continues to mess with everything and wonder why things aren't going his way or working out. They always want to get involved. It's just crazy, man. I mean, I hesitate to even go down this trail, but that's what's coming up. I mean, there's we're helping one of our friends is pregnant, and it's like the doctors just want to get in there and mess with everything. It's just like, leave it alone. Don't you think that after millions and millions and millions of years that a woman's body knows what to do? But you get these dudes up in here with all their masculinity, like, we got to get in there with a scalpel or some pills or something. It's like, leave the body alone. That's the truth when it comes to making children, when it comes to getting healthy. Don't do anything. Stop. Leave your body alone. It's multi-millions of years old, and the divine intelligence that organizes the entire universe. And what do? We go to some dude who went to college for 8 years and now wears a white coat. And we're forget about the divine intelligence that keeps the sun and the earth at the perfect distance from each other to create life here. We need to use our tiny little pinprick of a nothing brain and get in there and mess with everything. And everyone wonders why the whole thing is in such a shambles. You want to get healthy? Do less. Eat less, think less, try less, do less, and be more of what you are, which is the divine cosmic being. That's what you are. And all we do for the juices is absorb the sunlight that's in these juices, the living water that's been structured through the roots of the plant, so that this water is alive. Otherwise, if we go to the tap over here, I mean, in Hawaii, we have better water than most places. We drink that stuff. It's been coming from God knows where. Then it went over here. Then it got all the poop cleaned out of it. And then it went back through all these metal pipes. And then it went through all these other square metal pipes. By the time it gets here, it ain't living water. I mean, if you're dying of thirst, it'll keep you alive, but it isn't going to keep you vibrantly healthy. That's what the coconuts are for. That's what the distilled, restructured water is for. That's what the fruits and vegetables are for. The watermelon. So I told you there was going to be some good information today. One of these days I'm going to start doing more specific like video titles and stuff, but this is just hanging out with my homie. And this video is dedicated to the young man. I kind of wish I had my phone because I was going to do a little shout out, but anyways, maybe he'll know who he is. But he wrote me on Facebook today talking about, Dan, I'm in college and I'm in Alabama, and you got to realize that your videos are affecting people's lives as they affected my life. And then now it's affecting my grandma, and some of my college buddies are starting to see what it's doing for me, my family, my brothers. So if this video touches one person, you go out and touch another. And I know that's the light. It's not my light. It's like, if anything, it's like I decided to say to the light, use me, light. Speak through me and use me to spread your message of divinity, which happens in silence. You know what I'm saying? But it's really like the more healthy and clean you are, like the animals know. Like the crabs can see me coming from a mile away, whereas a human being, most of the time they're over there at McDonald's, they're like, I could be coming up behind with a baseball bat, and before they knew what was going on, they would be knocked out. You know, they're just not aware. They don't smell, feel what's going on around them. And as you get more in tune with your body, not that I'd hit anyone with a baseball bat, but I'm just saying, like, we're just so far out of the loop. We've lost our intuition. We've lost our instinct. And so we're just kind of like asleep. And then the mass majority of mankind, I mean, I don't mean to be negative, but a lot of times it's like, people are like, I'm so awake, I'm the next enlightened being on the planet. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, you're kind of asleep, you know? Just because you can't, the data and the knowledge and the education of the modern man is not enough. You're not going to impress me with your intellectual data, but I want to see you shining the radiant light. And that, all that takes is a pure heart. Your brain is just a, you know, I love the way Sadhguru says it, it's just a garbage pail for everybody's regurgitated thoughts and opinions, which mean nothing. Go into nature and watch a blade of grass grow. Or take notes, go watch like one blade of grass, or every day go look at the same leaf for a few weeks and watch how the leaf changes and grows, and learn about the cycles of life from life itself. That's the way to do it. Nature has all the answers, and when we get quiet in nature, now luckily I live in nature, surrounded by nature, and oh, what a blessing it is, because I eat the living foods, my system has become more sensitive, I've been able to be healed at the levels of the stomach, because there was a lot of issues there with all the meat and the hamburger helper that was eaten as a child, and the cold cereals and the dairy products, which left cake, mucus layer cake, which I had to eventually, you know, get rid of and detoxify and fast that, so that left. And that mucoid plaque came right out of me into the toilet during a fast. And so that was nice to see that leave, because it was a big layer of thick mucus. And so what you'll have is a lack of absorption. And so you're basically eating all these foods that are leaving this thick cake of mucus to protect itself. Because all the things that we're putting into our bodies in general as human beings are simply not conducive. So the body cells have to continually throw out mucus to protect itself from these foreign objects, namely denatured and degenerated food. And then you've heard me mention in all these other videos that the decomposing elements, the microorganisms that are the decomposers are the ones that take precedence in your gut. And then they release metabolites that affect your consciousness, that affect the environment. So basically you eat something, those certain types of microorganisms proliferate, they release their metabolites, their information, their waste products. The waste products of the microorganisms can be beneficial, like vitamins, enzymes, and precursors to hormone function, serotonin and dopamine, etc. They can be neutral, or they can be harmful. And most of the time, what I've noticed in my friends and family and clients is that we eat and live in a way where we are feeding the non-beneficial microorganisms, and they are releasing their metabolites into our gut, and then they're affecting our consciousness. So a lot of times what you'll find, I mean, I call it like this, I don't know where you are, who you are, or what, but I just see as a general mass consensus of mankind, we live in death consciousness. We don't live in eternal minded consciousness. And thankfully, that was what was cultivated in this experience here, was like eternal minded consciousness. So the day-to-day is a fun game. Whereas before, I'll tell you, I thought it was all heavy because I took everything so seriously, and I believed in the education, and I believed in all the religious teachings that God was some dude upstairs who was pissed off because I did things that felt good, you know, no matter what that was, whether it was something with the opposite members, or if it was some kind of altercation of mental states through the absorption of ethnogens or whatever, you know. But now I'm cool and clear with all that, because what I'm doing now, I don't even like the word trying, I just take that out. I saw myself catch. I am, that's my favorite statement. If you get anything out of this video, I know I'm a long-winded son of a gun, you can click off now. Just remember, I am. I am what? Well, what the heck do you want to be? So you just repeat that over and over again a million times. You've heard me say all this stuff before because you've been watching these videos for years. But when you say I am what? Well, one thing's for certain, I spend all day, every day telling you I am grateful, I am blessed. That is the key to the whole thing. I'm going to make a video on YouTube about that as a separate thing, but still, just to touch on that today because it's in the flow here. Because this is the Divine Channel. It's not really me, it's just 20 years of reading the books of the ancient masters and avoiding and looking at these other books and saying, that doesn't resonate with me personally. I'm going to test this other guy's stuff because he inspires me with the fruits and the herbs. You know, that inspires me with the living and cosmic radiation from the sun. So I go get lots of sun. And I tell all my clients, go get more sun. Because that is the life force energy that's going to burn up all the junk that's inside of you emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually, as well as the living water, which has been structured. That's why I say eat a diet of fresh fruits and vegetables. 80-90% of your diet should be fresh, organic fruits and vegetables, high water. And then you use some of the acid-forming foods like nuts and seeds to balance out the rest, to give you a little bit of oomph. You know, especially if you're a guy, you want to have the pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds to keep everything functioning really well with high levels of zinc. And if you're a woman, you want to have the flax seeds and the the hemp seeds as well. Now, men can eat hemp seeds and flax seeds as well, but you don't want to overdo it. Generally, if you're going for more of a masculine thing, you go for some more of those masculine type nuts and seeds. And again, Brazil nuts are magnificent for that kind of thing, as well as macadamia nuts being more neutral. Macadamia nuts are kind of masculine and feminine. It's all an incredible science, which I think, after years of reading every book, Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and now what it is I'm actually able to apply Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and Western medicine to the living foods diet. So I found all the little tricks with the herbs and the spices and everything when you get cold, or the dry foods, or the hot foods, or the wet foods, but I keep all of my food intact, and all of my food has aliveness to it. And that's a really, 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 really good thing. You gotta believe me when I tell you that. These juices are only do that because all I need is a little bit from my blood and a little bit from my brain to get the work done, but I'm an oxygen machine. Now, I don't have any stress in my life. I don't have any drama in my life. And I don't have any punk, chump, nobody, nothing, because I'm not living like that, because I just emanated that and I cleared that out of myself. So now I'm emanating just like peaceful, easy vibes. And like if it isn't peaceful, easy vibes, then I just say, eject, and I go away from that. But see, a lot of people haven't taken the time or haven't been able to yet to create the kind of life that they want, to work with the kind of business partners they want to work with, or to be in a relationship with the kind of person that is really, really conducive to harmony, or find a job and a livelihood or a neighborhood or an environmental location that suits them personally, to where you have peace and ease and really fresh air and sunlight and spacious, wide open spaces. Like we went to the beach this morning, walked along the beach, and Dakota said, wow, we're the only ones here every morning. There's always like maybe 1-2 other people. I mean, we do go at like 6 in the morning, but we got the whole beach to ourselves. So we just strip down, take our clothes off, and walk along the beach. We do a little photo shoot with a seal, and it's like the cutest thing ever. I'll probably post a video of that. We both got our picture taken with a seal this morning. He was so cute. He had sand around his eyes, and he was just looking up at us. It was the cutest thing. Oh, God. So, just basically, my point to all that was how awesome my life is. Not only is that great for you to see as an example of, dear God, thank you, 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 thank you. Thank you for what? Well, thank you for all these hard lessons that helped me to learn to become a better person. And thank you for all this abundance and good food. And thank you for all this fresh air and sunlight. And thank you for all this awesome food. And thank you that I have a really awesome job here on YouTube and my website and all this cool social media stuff. Because all I have to do is work for, Facebook and Instagram, and it's fun. It's like all you have to do is create. So that's how someone asked me this morning on one of the videos, how do you do this lifestyle? I just started making videos 8 years ago, and I created. And then when I got all crazy about, I got to be all serious and everything else, and and then there was all this drama because there was all these people that were jealous of me because I was cool and I was winning all the awards, and they was just hating on me. But then I didn't realize that was their problem, So now I start to realize, all these negative people, that's just because they're negative people. But that's not me. I'm a positive dude. This is an epic life that I've created. And so I stopped attracting a lot of that basically because I cleared it out of myself. So you got to clear it out of yourself. And people are pretty much realize now, it's like, I'm not even going to leave a comment for this guy because he doesn't give a flying about what I have to say or think with my negative panties and my all up in a wad because I don't have a good life. So I'm not going to sit here and complain to him because he's obviously happy and doing well. So you have to have the attitude, and it's taken me a while, don't get me wrong, I have to do the work. I had to definitely do a lot of inner work because we get born into these lives where we have challenges in our childhood and stuff like that, and not everything is exactly optimal, if you know what I mean, but we are still thankful to God for that because it makes us who we are. Like, I have a lot of compassion and understanding. You know what I mean? I can tell a drug addict, you can get sober. I can tell someone who's suicidally depressed, you can get happy. I can tell someone who's in a funky ass relationship that knows it ain't going nowhere, that you can find somebody that you can line up with tight, and it's like a miracle. You see what I'm saying? I can say that you can go from being broke to having more than enough. So I have all these experiences in my life that came from lower middle class, abusive, drug addicted, depressed, lifestyle to, hey man, nobody's gonna bother me anymore, because I went through and I paid my dues, and I'm thankful to God I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm still working on stuff inside myself, and I thank God for it every day because it gives me the impetus to keep digging deeper and looking for more of that presence that I need, which I call upon the angels every day of my life for their assistance. So I have a certain level of, that's funny, I'm the most humble guy in the world, but I have a certain level of humility. Reverence is a better word for it. It's like, look, man, if you think that you're smarter than God, like how I started out with these videos, that's what these dudes think. Because they're trapped in that dimension, which is the dimension of the intellect, the Newtonian paradigm, the cause and effect. Although there's cause and effect at the Newtonian levels, then there's cause and effect at the cosmic levels. And sometimes at the cosmic levels, there's karma that doesn't even visit you until the next lifetime. But there's also the karma that you can do in this lifetime. And I know, because ever since you've known me, for sure, you know I've had some serious ups and downs on this channel, for sure. But the thing is that's cool. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, okay? Because it allowed me to become the man that I am today. And I was going to create a good life for myself, so I was going to be honest, because I wanted to have a good relationship. So I went through all these funky ass relationships. Thank God, and I still am grateful to all of those women, but all they were prerequisites to the one that fits, so that love can be shared equally as a team instead of not that. And the same thing with, you know, like I was homeless, like really homeless for a long time. And then, well, I had a van at first. Well, at first I lived in a 6-bedroom apartment. I mean, a 1-bedroom apartment with 6 people. Okay. And then I lived in a van. Then they towed that away, and I didn't have the money to get it out of Hawk. So they took everything I owned and all the equipment that I had built up, and they towed it away, and I did not have $500, and no one would loan me the money. So these guys got to keep my van and a couple of years worth of really hard work. So I started out at zero again. So I kind of wandered around the streets in a depressed state, a little bit hopeless, just pissed off at the world. You know, not too bad, but now I was kind of like, well, at least I'm free. I don't have to really show up and do anything, and I can be free. And then it was 21 after that had happened, and I was back out on the street again. And I said to myself, I remember that was the decision I made when I was 21. Out on the street, living in a backpack, sleeping wherever, old houses, staying with strange women, things like that, man. You know, just survival. Friends' couches or whatever. But I said to myself, man, I ain't never gonna lose my freedom. I am never going to lose my freedom. And to this day, this is 21 years later, I have never compromised that freedom for no amount of money, for no amount of nothing. Freedom is first. No relationship is going to take away my freedom. I did give it away a couple of times. And I was imprisoned by my own subconscious fears of abandonment, which is pretty common, but in my case it was more severe because it was one of those things where you're like a 3-year-old child, and then it's like for real abandonment, gone. And then it's like, I'm not lovable, boom. So that kind of thing, and those kinds of experiences stick for a minute. And they repeat themselves over and over again. But I won't lose my freedom for nothing. There's no way. That's why it took me so long to get where I'm at, because I'd rather have nothing and have my freedom than be a slave and have a whole bunch of stuff. Because stuff don't mean diddly squat. Stuff don't mean diddly squat. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, I got 2 new chimes. Okay, if you want to talk about my favorite thing on earth, the Corinthian bell wind chimes. I got the big Bertha over there. Wait till you hear that thing. Two new wind chimes. So stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong. I didn't say stuff is not cool. The truck is cool. It's fun. You can drive places with it. But would I lose my freedom for the truck? No. Not in a million years. I would give it away to someone else before I lost my freedom. And so that's why it took me all these years. It wasn't only until a few years ago that I actually got out of a huge child support debt and mountains of debt. So I worked my butt off. So there was a lot of challenges as the lifer generator, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't one of these little whiz kids that, you know, could sell without selling. I was like, hey, it's Dan McDonald, I got stuff to sell because I got bills to pay. And I wasn't ready for that at the level of confidence because I was attracting this guilt about money, because all of us have it. And they're like, money is the root of all evil. It's like, no, it ain't. Greed is the root of all evil. Selfishness is the root of all evil. And you don't blame the knife. With the knife, you can cut the apple and make the lemon ginger blast and cure your cancer, or you can stab somebody in the heart and go to prison for the rest of your life with the same knife. So this knife right here can save 1 million lives with this video right here, or you can go and stab somebody in the heart and take away someone else's life and lose your own while you sit in prison, or you get the death sentence. You see? So do you blame the knife? Do you blame the money? No. Money is not the root of all evil. Greed is. And so is jealousy. OJ style. You know what I'm saying? So we're wrapping this baby up. I told you, like, see, when I do that, all that just came out of somewhere. That wasn't really me thinking. These are my favorite kind of videos, where I just rap. I don't even know what was talked about. But I do know one thing, apparently, but I mean, it's a good vibration. That's all it is. If you want to go on YouTube and say, how to quit smoking weed, make a video like that, you know, or how to lose weight, which I will do that, but I mean, or whatever it is, you know, you Google certain things, it comes up, and you watch a little 3 or 4 minute thing, and you get these little ideas. Lifer Generator videos is more like we're a family. And I'm the dude who's like the blessed one, because I made myself that, because here's the secret. I'm looking at the boom boom, at the big, the eternal. I'm not sitting here thinking, how can I scratch another little penny? You know what I mean? How can I just make a little scam or something, you know? That's not my style. It's really like, how can I be a blessing to myself and the entire world? And that's what I do here on the YouTube, in my opinion. And then I didn't know it, I was just having fun. This was just my art. But then a young man wrote to me this morning, it's like, but see, if you drink the green juice and you stop eating, if you just, like I said on this last video, I don't remember which one it was, but someone quoted me, avatar status is when you know what not to do and you don't do it. But the thing is people know what not to do, but they do it anyways. And I've been the same way in the past. But now I am moving forward always with not discipline, but just wisdom. Because like, why do I want to lose a day? Why do I want to feel crappy? I don't, and I'm not gonna. I gotta just make sure that I get all that. It's better not to put the habanero in last. So just get all that kick out of there so it comes through. I might even have to put another little, I'll do this. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do this really quick just to push it through a cucumber. And that'll push that through there. So that was my rant for the day. I hope that you're inspired and you realize that the fact is that. I mean, that is the fact. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. 29. I get this camera does 33-minute clips. That's what it does. So that's just like, that's where I always like figure out how to end it. Right around there. And this thing went to 29 minutes and something. So that's how long it takes to make a lemon ginger blast. It's about, we're talking about 3 quarts here. 1 quart is a serving. 3 quarts exactly on this one. So that's 3 servings. So basically, between Dakota and I, she'll probably have 1 quart and I'll probably have 2. This is my breakfast. It's about 1 o'clock. I'm only 4 hours late for our meeting. No problem, right? I'm an artist.
okay? And I gotta go with the inspirational flow, and we had to get everything done today. And I put up a bunch of other videos, made my Instagram post, had my exercise already at the beach, had a photo shoot with a seal, harvested 2 racks of bananas. We have 1 more rack. Then yoga is at 4, and hopefully we'll get a little bit in the garden. But right now it's time to do a meeting. Because what we need to do is organize this man's thoughts. If we could get this genius down on paper, the possibilities are infinite. The potential is eternal. I'm trying to find those key words. It's just, you know what it is? It's a pure potential, because the word infinite still contains the finite. Let me do a little drink here on the lemon ginger blast. I think if the camera cuts off, then you know that we ended, and I said thank you for giving it a thumbs up, and thank you for leaving a comment, and thank you for being inspired, and thank you for helping your family to get their juicer out, dust it off, and get the hell away from the dudes with the white pills. 1% of the white pills are useful for emergency situations till you can stabilize someone with the real diet, a few nights rest, getting away from the stressful job, the crappy relationship, or all the stuff that's inside of someone that's killing them. Dan, what kind of food do I eat to get this disease gone? Well, first of all, you need to address all the other stuff in your life. Why are you not doing what you know as an eternal soul you should be doing? You know, why are you making decisions that are compromising the most high and divine decisions that you could make? I don't know. You got to learn to love yourself and say, I can't live up to the world's standards. I'm trying to live up to God's. The world's standards are much, much lower. God's are more free and open and peaceful and ease and grace. And then the world will lay these innumerable burdens upon your shoulders, which they don't even bear themselves. Expectations that you cannot live up to all that. So you got to kind of find your little piece of paradise, duck out and play the game, but play it so that you win. Just make them think. Basically, you take the pills, you put them under your tongue. There you go, doctor. Thank you. I'm going to go home now and spit out the pill. Go home, watch a Life Regenerator video, make a green juice, and get truly healthy. Not just suppress your symptoms. Get rid of them by getting rid of the goo, the gunk, the slime in your body, then clear out and purify, illuminate your heart with love for everyone, even the people that hate you. Then what you do is you quiet your mind and get it clear with super blue green algae. Every time that I take green juice, I take the enzymes with it. Boom. A scoop of enzymes. I'm not going to do that now because I'll lose the rest of my time. I take a scoop of enzymes and wash it down with the green juice. I stay so clean, lean, powerful, and energized, I don't know what to do with myself, okay? So grow younger with the green juice. And think about all these other things that we talked about on this video and have an epic life. Create it for yourself. You're the master. I know you are.